Click on the Device tab under the MIDI header to access the MIDI device page. What you see here will depend on your system and the number of MIDI devices you have attached. If you don't see devices listed that you expect to, then check that they are installed correctly. Check any devices that you wish to use, and if you wish, assign them a friendly name. You may find a device quicker to identify with a more meaningful name than that assigned by default. To add a friendly name, click on the device under the friendly name column and edit accordingly. You'll also need to make sure that the Use Friendly Names checkbox is checked. For example, I have a Roland Sonic Cell synthesizer and PCR keyboard attached to my system. I find it easier to refer to these within Music Creator as Sonic Cell and PCR keyboard rather than their default names. The Move Check Devices to Top can be used to reorder devices. Check the one you want top of the list and click this button. Then check the one you want second and click again. Repeat this process as necessary. Warn about no MIDI devices does just as it says and will warn you at startup if there are no MIDI devices present on your system. The next tab is the Instrument tab. Here is where instrument definitions can be assigned to hardware synths. One of the advantages of assigning an instrument file to a synth is it allows patch names to be displayed within Music Creator rather than just a patch number. If you don't have any hardware synths, you can safely ignore this tab. If you do have a hardware synth, check any disks that came with it or search the web to see if it has an instrument file available. If it doesn't, it's possible to create your own, but that subject is beyond the scope of this video. The Control Surface dialog is there for configuring any control surfaces that you may have attached. To add a surface, you need to click on the Add Surface button, where you then select the type of control surface you have from the list and assign the correct MIDI ports it's attached to. Once that's done, the control surface is available for use within Music Creator. The WAI strip visibility is also controlled here. WAI stands for Where Am I? And shows as a coloured strip beneath or beside the track numbers to indicate which tracks the control surface is currently assigned to. The Playback and Recording section contains various settings and options relating to those actions. The top option, Allow MIDI recording without an ARM track, if checked, will record MIDI to any MIDI track that has an input assigned without arming the track. This can be quite a dangerous setting, as it's easy to overwrite existing MIDI data by mistake. Be cautious if using this option. Beneath that are the various elements of MIDI data that can be recorded. Just check those that you wish to record. One other setting worthy of a special mention is the MIDI buffer setting. If you experience dropped MIDI notes on playback or other problems, try increasing this figure. The Drum Map Manager is where any drum maps in use in a project can be managed and mapped. Drum maps are a convenient way of mapping multiple drum synths into one. The in notes, that's the notes you play, can be assigned to any out note, that's the note that the synth actually plays. That comes in handy for remapping kits to their expected note name. For example, if a synth has a range of kick drums mapped to various notes throughout the range, you can use a drum map to map it to note 36, which is the usual kick drum mapping. A separate synth can also be assigned per line, making mix and matching synthesized drum kits easy. There are a whole load of drum apps included for all the common drum synths, and we'll look at those later when we look at MIDI instruments. Next, we'll move on to the file setup.